So this is my director's commentary for my A2 media coursework for my film trailer Seeking Lucy. So first of all, I used a green band trailer card and also a production company logo, as I wanted to use these for my trailer as they appeared more professional and as they're established. I think it made my media trailer look like a real media product.
Hi Lucy, it's Mum. Hope you're okay. We're having a really lovely weekend here, but missing you lots. See you soon. Bye.
So my trailer started out with a fade into a long shot, which sets the scene for my media trailer. It's an open setting and uses dark colours and cool tones. So it appears to link to the horror genre. Following that, in the voiceover, there's a voicemail from Lucy's mother, as I wanted to challenge the convention of a usual voiceover, which is commonly used in horror and thriller trailers. I wanted to use a voicemail to appear more current and modern, as digital technology was a convention I wanted to use throughout my trailer. The soundtrack begins to increase and it builds tension and engages the audience and increases interest of the film. And there's also a contrast between the suburban and isolated settings which are featured throughout my trailer, with the outside and also the streets that it's set on.
Yes, I will.
So also there's a shot reverse shot of a communication between Lucy and her parents. I wanted to show the relationship between them as Lucy's father says, "Be good, won't you?" And then Lucy replies in a moany tone, "Yes, I will," showing that she's quite dismissive, and a typical stereotype of a teenager. This gives connotations to the audience of what Lucy's characters might be like, and also stresses the age of Lucy. Um, Next follows a handheld camera shot, which is a panning shot of Lucy closing the door. This links to the idea that someone is watching her and starts right from the beginning and sets the theme throughout the trailer that someone is watching her. The titles I used showed a contrast between the white typography and a black backdrop, which represents the idea of good versus evil. I think this represents a conflict between Lucy and her stalker, as Lucy's shown as the protagonist while her stalker is shown as the antagonist.
I thought your parents had gone away. Well, yeah, they have. Who's that behind you?
So there's a shot of a dripping tap, which I feel like increases suspense. It's like a typical convention of a horror trailer, as it does just build suspense. And there's also a voiceover between the two scenes of the dripping tap and into the shot of Lucy in her bedroom, which I feel engages the audience and draws them into the next scene. The shot of the conversation between Lucy and her best friend Nicole is viewed from the point of view as Lucy, as it uses an over-the-shoulder shot, which I think shows communication between Lucy and her best friend. So this scene focuses upon Lucy in a vulnerable setting, as she's on her own in the bathroom. Bath shots are usually used in horror and thriller trailers as they are somewhere where you are completely on your own. The dripping tap is used similarly to the one in the kitchen, as it's suspenseful and engages the audience. The sound effect which I used throughout this scene was called jump scare, and it uses violin sounds which builds to the climax of Nicole screaming. The soundtrack continues to build towards the midpoint of the trailer after this, as it engages in the action which is to follow. So this sequence I created in Adobe After Effects. I wanted to create the idea of a security camera effect that Lucy Stalker was viewing her at all times. This is used commonly in films such as Paranormal Activity, and wanted to base upon the idea that someone was watching her every move. There's also an element of cross-cutting as Nicole is sleeping and her stalker is moving closer towards her at this point, which I think builds suspense and makes the audience think, what's going to happen next? The heartbeat sound effects begin at this point, which really add to the tension of the sequence, and starts to engage the audience in the following events further. So what follows is a montage of shots ranging from close-ups to mid-shots, and shows that action, the general idea of action that might follow in the film, and gives the audience snippets of what's to follow. Between the shots there's a fade to black with the heartbeats, which I found successful as it really was useful in building tension and suspicion and suspense up until the point of the end of the trailer. Towards the end of the trailer, there's a fade to black as Lucy is shown in sound as breathing, which I think is a cliffhanger, as the audience may be wondering what's going to happen next, engaging the audience, encouraging them to want to view it. So the final titles, the music has calmed to this point and uses ambient sound and piano sound effects, which I feel links to the horror genre. At this point, it's much calmer, and it's sort of links to the idea that this is the calm after the storm. The final page focuses upon the typography and the release month, although I haven't given the actual release date. I've done this to increase interest in the trailer and encourage viewers to use the hashtag which I'd used below and find out when the actual release date of the trailer would be, creating a hype around it and encouraging them to share it with their friends.